This is page 7 in our method book, in our written assignments book. So on the last worksheet we learned about 4/4 time. Now we're going to learn about 3/4 time. And there is no C symbol or anything like that as in common time, 4/4 time. This is actually, it can appear in waltzes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, dee, 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 dee. Few of my favorite things. So 3/4 time, of course, is one of my favorite time signatures. So just like in the last one, in 3/4 time, there are 3 beats in each measure. And there's that symbol again. Remember, think of it as 3 over a quarter note. The bottom number is really a symbol for a quarter. And I wish we started music that way. Instead of drawing a 4 here, I really wish we would just draw a quarter note underneath it. But that's what we do. So the rhythmic values didn't change. This is all the same. We're going to use that as our key to figure that out. But we have one new rhythm here. And you'll find this new rhythm, by the way, in Rhythm Practice 2. That's the dotted half note. It gets 3 beats of sound. And here's why. The dot, you're going to write this, adds half the value of what it is attached to. So in other words, if a half note is worth 2 beats, half of a half note is a quarter note. You just add them together. 3. And that's a composer's way of making it easy for you to see that it gets 3 beats. And of course we could use ties to indicate that. We're not going to use ties. Otherwise we would see this a lot. And here's what a tie is. If you don't know what a tie is, it looks like that. And it connects the same note name so that the duration would get 3 beats. And we would really only want to use that guy if we were going across a bar line. In most cases, for example right here, we're not going across a bar line. That's just going to complete the measure since we have 3 beats. So number 1, clap the rhythm while counting the beats out loud. Usually I give you 2 measures. I'll say 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and ready and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 2 and 3 and. All I did was this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Notice I'm still saying the ands. There's a very solid reason for doing that. And you'll find that later when we get to 8th note beat patterns, especially single 8th notes, and even faster rhythms called 16th notes. So it's important that you always subdivide. It will help you stay in time. Number 2, write the count below the notes and then clap the rhythm while counting the beats out loud. Piece of cake. 1, 2, 3, 1, that would be 2, 3, 1, 2, that would be 3, 1, dash, dash, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There you go. Okay, now we're going to clap and count it together. This time I'm going to perform it on the piano, and your eyeballs are going to follow the music, and you're going to clap and count along with me. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and ready and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and. And once again, I pulled my finger off the piano key right after the and to beat 3 over here to show that that is the end. If you're wondering, by the way, this thing here is a double bar line. So it usually indicates the end of a piece of music. Number 3, write a 3/4 time signature after the clef. So here we go. We need to draw our 3 here. And then we're going to do our 4. And the 4 is going to have the triangle top half. Write the count below the notes, then clap the rhythm while counting the beats out loud. So we need to do this. 1, 2, 3, each one of them is worth 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, that would be 2, 3, 1, 2. Oh, can't do that. Need to be consistent in everything we do. So we'll do this. 3, 1, dash, dash. And let's clap and count that. You get to do it while you follow my pencil. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and ready and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 done. Piece of cake. And I hope you clap that. Number 4, write a 3/4 time signature after the clef. There you go. Write in the count below the notes, draw the missing bar lines. Well, this would be 1, 2, 3, and after beat 3, we're always going to do this. We're going to put the bar line there to show a new measure. Can you imagine if we didn't have bar lines, if music looked like this? It would be really hard to read if it just kept going. So our brains don't work that way. We're able to chunk it one measure at a time, which makes it significantly easier on us. And I'm going to recommend you just write in your numbers first. Thinking 1, 2, 3 the whole way. 2, 3. Then we'll go back, find our 3s, and put in our bar lines. Make sure the spacing looks good. So I didn't want to put that too close to this or too close to that. And that's it. And of course, if we were to clap and count that, it would sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 I sang somewhat like what it sounds like. And of course, it's bass clef, so that suits me quite well since I have a low voice. We'll put a check here. Number 5. Let's put that in focus. Write in the count below the notes and then add the missing bar line. So this will really tell me if you understand this. 1, 2, 3, bar line, 1, dash, 3, bar line, 1, dash, 3, bar line. There's our favorite dotted half note. 1, dash, dash, bar line, 1, 2, 3, bar line, 1, dash, dash, and you're done. Let's see. Clap and count with me. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and ready and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 piece of cake. And of course it sounds cool. If all music was in common time, it'd be a pretty boring thing. So we have all kinds of time signatures. We're going to put a check here. And we are done with that worksheet.